Welcome to the Italy-USA Innovation Forum, the first edition of this forum, but want to try to aggregate all the best energy from Italy and US and try to connect here together. I'm introducing myself. I'm Dattoli. I'm co-founder and CEO of Talent Garden, today the biggest European platform of co-working space and education platform to try to support Italian companies across Europe. We are here, and it's an honor for me to open this forum today, that wants to be in this place at Stanford University and wants to be in with the presence of the President of the Italian Republic, Sergio Mattarella, a high-level event gathering the major companies, top university, and R&D players in US and Italy. The idea is, and the main focus of this is to foster the US-Italian relationship in developing new, innovative, and disruptive technologies, driving the evolution of several key industries. As you know, this forum has been organized by Stanford University, and on the Italian side, by the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Italian Trade Agency, and Confindustria, the main association representing all the manufacturing and services companies in Italy. It's all this morning and also this afternoon. The idea is to try to put together all the best minds in the same place, and for the first time, in the presence of the President of the Republic and the President of Stanford, try to discuss about how to innovate our country. As we know, Italy is the second manufacturing economy in Europe, but is also the fifth country when we talk about patents on the machine learning and artificial intelligence. And the idea is to try to support also way more the development of technology and innovation across Italy with the collaboration with the United States. The idea today, and really thanks for the welcome from the University of Stanford and also for hosting these events here today. And it's an honor now to present, I can say, a key element of the development of the country, because after many years in which we were trying to work on having a minister for innovation in Italy, this year we reached this goal. And so I'm really, really welcome the Minister of Technology and Innovation and Digitalization for Italy, Paola Pisano.
Hey, good morning. Distinguished guests, first of all, I would like to say thank you to the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs, the Italy Trade Agency, Confindustria, Stanford University, the Stanford School of Engineering, and the Stanford School of Medicine for organizing such an important event for our countries. When I start thinking about my speech today, I realize that we usually remark in this kind of event fact that everybody already knows. We know that we are in a period of transformation where the technological activity and innovation will have a strong impact in our society. And we know all the strengths and weaknesses of our countries. What I would like to share with you today is what our country is doing for trying to reach this opportunity that new technology and digitalization will offer to our society. So, first of all, thanks to the choice of our government, we have now a Minister of Innovation and Digitalization, and this is very important for define a unique country policy around cooperation, innovation, and digitalization in the framework of stability. Because you know, as I know, that for doing a policy around innovation, we need stability inside the country. We don't need 1 year of good policy, we need few years of good policy. We are defining a draft of bill to adapt the system of law to innovation and not vice versa. If you are a startup or if you are a company, come in our country and develop your project in a sort of sandbox. If the innovation that you bring in our country would have a positive impact in our society, we will adapt our regulation to your innovation. Another thing that we are focusing on is the Italian Competence Center. We already listened that we have in Italy competence center, 8 competence centers that are an hub which organizations, startup, research, university are together in the stream of innovation and new technology. And this is very important if we want to have a strong impact in some field of innovation. Think about smart manufacturing, digitalization, cybersecurity, infrastructure in 4.0. Another thing that we are doing in Italy is starting a fund around innovation. The name is Fondo Nazionale per l'Innovazione, and this fund will start now in October and will support the startup and organization that bring in our territory innovation. We are always talking about creating innovation, but as innovation we can see like an industry. We need to talk about the creation of innovation, but we also need to talk about the demand of innovation. So for this reason, we want to define simple mechanisms to create, use and reuse and acquire technology inside the public administration. As a government, we want to support organizations to create and communicate new and appealing jobs in technology and digital economy. We will never attract young, intelligent workers in our country if we offered all kinds of jobs in terms of salary and activities. Italian company must understand that the new employee is an investment and not only a cost for the company. Finally, we are focused on digital services, digital inclusion and reskilling of our population, and also on creating tangible and intangible infrastructure to support the innovation. And finally, promoting cross-country contamination and open innovation approach, not only for our companies, but also for our government. And now, I would like to ask you something. This is an important opportunity for me and for my government to speak in front of such important audience, professors, entrepreneurs, researchers, leaders that are changing our society, creating new jobs and new opportunity for the future. I think that all of you have in his or her mind the action that our countries must do for starting together this transformation. I told you the government action. Now it's your turn. Tell me your actions that you would like to do with your organization and to implement it to concretely realize the aim of this event, the collaboration of two countries in the direction of innovation. I'm here today and I'm expecting your and the panelists' suggestions. Thank you very much.
Going quickly to the second panel today, we have 3 different panels and before the break. So the second will be about advanced manufacturing and industry 4.0, talking about mobility and smart cities. And to lead this, I invite on stage Marco Pavone, Director of Autonomous System Laboratory at Stanford University, Anthony Dean, Director at General Electric Additive, Noam Juana, Managing Director of Exor Seeds, and Luca Manuelli, Chief Digital Officer at Saldo Energia and President of Italian Technology Cluster about intelligent factories.
Okay. You already met. Good morning, my name is Marco Pavone, and I'm a professor here at Stanford in the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics. I work in the field of robotics and artificial intelligence applied to self-driving cars, autonomous aerospace systems, and future mobility systems. Here on stage, I'm joined by a distinguished group of panelists. Noam Ohana is Managing Director at Exor, one of Europe's leading holding companies with investment in an impressive set of companies such as FCA, Ferrari, The Economist, and Juventus. And he's also a graduate of Stanford University. Dr. Anthony Dean, he received a PhD from Stanford and joined General Electric in 1992. And since then has served in a variety of research, engineering, leadership roles. He's currently leading the additive manufacturing group at General Electric, and I just found out yesterday that I've been advisor of his son for the past 2 years. And finally, Luca Manuelli, he received a degree in economics from Lewis University, and since 2012 has been working at Ansaldo, leading the digital transformation process within Ansaldo, which is one of the key players in the power generation market. He has a number of key roles in leading digital transformation in Italy. Among other things, he's a member of the task force of experts coordinated by the Italian Ministry of Economic Development to support the launch and implementation of the Industry 4.0 national plan. So this panel covers a wide range of technological domains, from additive manufacturing to mobility system, energy systems. However, all these technology domains have in common that they are currently being revolutionized by the digital transformation process, which is characterized by access to unprecedented computational capabilities, availability of a huge amount of data, and of course, use of new technologies in AI. With this in mind, in this panel, I would like to address the 3 main topics. First, how such a digital transformation process is transforming your line of business, in particular in terms of opportunities that are ripe for investment and research. Second, if and how such a transformation process, besides the positive impacts, is also leading to negative societal impacts, such as job displacement, privacy concerns, excessive power to a small number of stakeholders, and so on. And finally, how all these technologies can be best addressed by new forms of industry-academia partnerships. So let's start maybe with Luca on how the digital transformation process is affecting the power generation market, and in particular Ansaldo.
Okay, thank you, Marco. This is a very important impact of digitalization in power generation, as you already mentioned. Digitalization, together with decarbonization and decentralization, is one of the 3D strategic drivers in the power generation. And for a company like Ansaldo Energia, that due to the strategic partnership with Shanghai Electric first and the acquisition of the Alstom heavy-duty gas turbine later, has become the third player of power generation, digitalization is a key lever to differentiate its value proposition. And this is particularly important applied to our product, gas turbine, steam turbines, generators, power plants, and to make possible a more and more strict integration between the product development and service, because this is another key trend of our market. We need to support our customers to extend the life cycle of the product from one side, and from the other side, we need to support flexibility, because of course, the introduction of the new renewable sources make the gas turbine power plants needed to support this in order to guarantee the best exploitation of the grid. So we started to make our product smarter, introducing in the new product, but also in the current fleet through retrofitting solution. Smart sensor able to generate data that we collect and we put in the data lake together with our partner. So there is a new collaboration process with our customer. It's a partnership because we share information, data, capability to apply new algorithms and big data, and to generate two new applications like asset optimization and predictive maintenance. One of the key activity we are currently performing is related to Enel, where we are supporting the digitalization of their power plants in order to achieve this opportunity. This great program is named By2Energy because in our bill of material there are more information than material. So this is the reason why. The second key impact is in manufacturing, in advanced manufacturing, introducing digitalization in our factory. We are the factory that suffered the disaster of the collapse of Ponte Morandi. And we started our Lighthouse project, the first one of the Industry 4.0 Italian plan, 1 month before the tragedy of the Morandi Bridge. For us, it has been very important to try to transform a tragedy into opportunity, introducing digitalization in order to have the possibility to exploit all the key Industry 4.0 technologies to be applied to all the manufacturing process. And this not to make our people being substituted by new technology, but to make our people able to take decision and to act process supported by information. So the final aim of this 3-year industrial R&D plan, where we have an investment of 50 million euro, is to have really a data-driven factory.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, of course, digitalization is this. But before doing so, I would like to talk about something that usually engineers do not like to talk about, which is the dark side of the technologies we develop. So basically the negative societal impacts. Maybe, again, I can start with Luca, commenting on what you foresee as a possible negative societal impact, job displacement being one of them, and how do you envision mitigation strategies?
Yes, I think that in Ansaldo Energia digital transformation, human capital is in the center, and we think that the potential impact of digital transformation can be, of course, to have an increase of productivity, and this is particularly true for a country like Italy that suffered a huge decrease of productivity in the last decades. So, assuming flat volumes, I think that one potential impact should be, of course, a reduction of employment due to the increase of productivity. But on the other side, I think that to invest in digital transformation, we achieve a higher competitiveness. So we are able to generate new activities, new business, and so there will be a positive impact in our employment. What is the way in which we can have a positive trade-off in balancing the two potential impact? We need to change, to manage the change of the overall system. We need to start from the mindset to the commitment and especially to the skills. We need to act upskilling and reskilling of people working in our company, in our factory. We are involving in our Lighthouse plant more than 1,000 of light blue collars. We named this because the transformation should to give them augmented capacity and skills in order to be able to exploit all the opportunity coming from the digital transformation.
Yeah. Okay, so in this context, Anthony already mentioned an example of collaboration between Italy and the United States, between academia and universities. Luca, what do you think as possible new ways of engaging academia and industry also across the ocean in order to tackle these very large, both technological and societal challenges?
Let me start with some example of collaboration in a collaborative ecosystem in Italy that Ansaldo Energia successfully acted. For example, the collaboration with the Italian Institute of Technology with my friend Giorgio Metta. We developed together a micro robot to perform digital inspection in the rotor of a generator because we have an issue. There was no space for humans, for technicians to perform this, and we are able now to do this without dismounting the generator. This is very important because it's a concrete way in which we use robotics to augment the capability of the technicians. And that information go in the data lake to support the predictive maintenance approach as well. Secondly, there is here Mr. Pisano, and I like to share with her this example. We launched for Lighthouse Plant a call for innovation. In Ansaldo Energia, we love music. We named Digital X Factory. And we have 160 startups participating in our call for innovation. 80 projectual proposals that we analyzed with the support of Politecnico of Milan and University of Genoa. And at final pitch, we have 11 startups, and 6 of these startups work in the Lighthouse Plant. We haven't, unfortunately, corporate venture capital, but we can give the opportunity for the startups to work together with company and big partners, technological partners that are involved. And I think this is a very good example in which also the new Fondo of Innovazione can driven to address concrete opportunity to develop, not only to start, but to, I would say, to support the upskilling phase that is very critical for the startup. Finally, I want to spend some words about the Italian cluster intelligent factories. We are already running a collaboration program with United States involving NSF and NIST. We have the chance to arrange 2 workshops, one in Washington with the support of the embassy, of course, and the last one in Parma last year. And we found out many areas of potential collaboration, and we involved both United States companies that has operation in Italy and Italian company like Ansaldo Energia or Comau that has operation in United States, and we can try to exchange this kind of know-how and to be applied in the manufacturing, in the advanced manufacturing scenario, and to work together to exploit this collaboration. So this is a very good collaboration in progress.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned to you, Luca, you've depicted a landscape where we have a highly integrated, highly automated manufacturing plants and energy production plants and so on. But of course, the worry is that now you make it much easier first to attack such an integrated system, and even just non-malicious failures could quickly propagate and turn off an entire country. So from the perspective of Ansaldo, what are the possible strategies that you are considering in order to avoid such catastrophic events?
No, that's absolutely true. With the benefits coming from digitalization, we need also to manage the risk coming from cybersecurity that affect not only data information, that is the most valuable asset of our company and our customers, but also asset. More and more, the threats can impact on the assets that can be the factory or the power plant. So we need to work together in order to find out the way to manage this risk, especially involving the small and medium enterprise that are part of our supply chain. Because most in our supply chain there are fantastic small companies that are very good in their specific product and process, but they have a digital gap. They do not know sometimes how to exploit digitalization and how to protect themselves and the system. So we started with Confindustria. We launched the AINET 4.0, involving the first 100 Italian suppliers. And we make an assessment, not only for the maturity, the digital maturity, but the cyber maturity. And we defined, with the support of some competence center, what is the roadmap in terms of technology development, but especially of skills and knowledge, because most of this event comes from the behaviors of people. And this is a concrete way in which we can try to support this risk.
Okay. Well, it's time to wrap up. So in the afternoon, we'll have a roundtable on these topics where there will be an opportunity to go deeper in each one of the themes that we have touched upon. And, well, I look forward to the next panel. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks Marco Pavone, who moderated this session. Thanks to Anthony Dean, Noam Hoana, and Luca Manuelli. We are going to the final part of this session this morning, in which we have three incredible speakers that will talk about the different point of view of innovation. The first one is Mr. Francesco Starace, the Chief Executive Officer of Enel. He joined the company in 2000, and he holding several executive positions, and in 2014 were appointing as CEO and General Manager. I'm very happy to have him here, and I think he's one of the companies that is most invested in innovation and the future of our planet.
Thank you. Thank you. Grazie, signor Presidente, per essere con noi. Thank you, dear President Marc Lavigne, to be with us. Ministro Pisano, Ambasciatore Varricchio, Signor Console, grazie, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here, so numerous. I think this is a great opportunity to reflect on what innovation and entrepreneurship can do when they're put together in a clever way. And I think it is also a great opportunity to reflect on the fact that sometimes innovation is close to us, but we don't see it. And sometimes entrepreneurship just needs a little help to find the courage. I just want to give you a testimony of what we've done in the last years and why we are here to speak about this. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any reason for me to be here and tell you what I'm going to tell you. We had some years ago, about 5 years ago, a little bit of a reflection on what was our company all about and what was going to happen in the future. And we discovered that there were two important values in the culture of the company that were deep-rooted into the genetic data of the system. And they were a spirit of service to community and an avoidance of risk. No mistakes can be made by an electric utility, because typically these are disastrous, and I think you all know about that pretty well here. So these two things together had a positive view of what we could do. We had a strong dedication to people and the community, but also negative connotation when it comes to innovation, because it is difficult to innovate when you try to avoid mistakes. There must be some kind of acceptance of potential mistakes if you want to really innovate. That was one observation. The other one is that technology was evolving quickly, and there was a lot of turbulence in what was going to be our future in the energy field. And 5 years down the road, we can say that that observation was absolutely correct. We are today in the midst of an incredible acceleration in what is called the energy transformation. And that is affecting the industry and, as a consequence, many other industries too. So in the light of this, we said, how can we cope with all this technology and all this big business model transitory phase while unable to innovate in an accelerated way? So we said, let's try to find help outside. So this was a little bit of a courageous step. Most companies think they can innovate on their own. And we said, this is not going to be enough. So let's go out and ask for help. And we started opening innovation hubs around the world. The first one was in Tel Aviv. The second one was here in the Bay Area. And when we are today at 10 innovation hubs in different locations in the world. One in Catania, by the way, because of the presence of a very vibrant and able community of academia and entrepreneurship stemming from the ST Microelectronics presence in the region. But apart from that, what we finally decided is to go into these places and ask for help presenting problems to solve. So we asked our people, don't be afraid to come with problems if you don't have a solution. No one is going to blame you, just give us the problems you cannot solve. And with those problems, we went out trying to find people that would help us, startups, clever entrepreneurs, academia. The result was surprisingly encouraging. Out of 5 ideas, 4 were not, that's the average, 4 are not useful, but 1 is. And as a result of that, we started having to do with a lot of small startups that had potential for our industry and our problem-solving activity. And we told them, we don't want to have an exclusive right to your ideas. We don't want to limit the application of your concepts to the rest of the industry. We want you to scale up quickly, and we will provide this environment in which your ideas will be tested and launched in our large organization, and then we will also not put money in your companies. Because as we cannot make mistakes in our operations, we can also not make mistakes financially. And of course, if you cannot make financial mistakes, you should not be a venture capitalist. So we've partnered with venture capital players and brought them our innovative startups so that they would fund them. I'm happy to say that we had fantastic success in several cases. One of them was the one that we visited this morning in San Francisco, Nozomi, and we had great partnerships with a lot of companies that might not be classified as startups, but were not as large as they are today, and we have some friends here today that are here with us in this path. What next? Simply, what happened is that as this path developed, and as our colleagues in Enel understood that coming up with a problem and not being able to find a solution would not be a problem, they also started finding solutions. So we developed and discovered an innovative soul which existed in the company, but was kind of hiding around, not being sure that it was good to kind of try to find solutions. So we are in the midst of an innovative wake up in the company that we wouldn't expect to happen that quickly. Summing up, what we found in the Bay Area is what you all know already, a fantastic combination of academia, entrepreneurship, clever people, and an inducive environment that puts this all together in a very efficient way. Are there other places like this in the world with different flavors and different twists? There are, but none has the efficiency and the refinement that we found in this area. So I'm here to say that please don't change this. Just keep it like it is, because it is extremely vital and extremely important for us and for the future development of our industry. I should add also that probably the influx of US startups, as the minister has said, that will be brought back into Italy and Europe on our premises to develop has already taken place. So there are some startups that are working in our organization out of here, and vice versa, the inbreeding with Italian talents of startups that the Italians implanted here is already happening. So what you said, dear Minister, is actually absolutely correct. There is a cross-fertilization that we have been carrying out for some times, and it proves to be extremely beneficial and extremely productive. So all is well, and we are really happy that this visit took place, because I think, Mr. President, that your presence here gives a lot of encouragement to the many Italians that work in this Bay Area, and also signals the importance that this country, Italy, is giving finally to innovation. We think Italy has been a very innovative country in the past. It still is. What we need to have is courage to innovate, because creativity we have. And there is in our country, they need to find the courage to start innovating for real. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to the Stanford University that together with the Italian Minister of Foreign Affairs, with the Italian Trade Agency and with Confindustria organized this morning. It's 37 years that the President of the Republic didn't come to visit the Silicon Valley. That is a key element of connection between Italy and the innovation and the future as we are happening here. I think it was incredible what we did this morning and what we'll also continue this afternoon. There are more than 400 people here today, more than 70 people that comes directly from Italy to follow this delegation and to be present in this idea of connecting Italy with USA. It's not only people from universities, people from research, it's people from the company. And the aggregation of these three elements are the key element for the development. This is not something that has to end here. This is not something that can end today, but the idea is to develop this collaboration and the cooperation for the technology and for the innovation between these two countries. We hope soon to have an Italian Center for Innovation also here in Silicon Valley. That is a project that was announced 2 years ago, and we hope to have soon to have a physical presence here, but I think there is way many activities that we can do in order to connect these two countries. It's an incredible honor to have you here and to welcome to the Silicon Valley and in particular to Stanford. And I ask to all the panelists, the speakers, and the rappeurs to come on stage for a final acknowledgement and a photos. And I ask also the President if they can come to make the final photograph with all the panelists. I ask to everyone else to stay seated because for security reason we have to have the President go out before everyone else. So I ask to remain seated, sorry. Grazie mille.
Very nice job.
Nice, this moment is nice. Really difficult because you have to smile.
Thanks a lot. I ask again to everyone in the room to stay seated. Vuole dire qualcosa? Grazie mille.
Ciao, dopo.
Grazie mille. Sono italiano e il mio cuore. Please come to Florence.